Greetings, operatives. I am Agent Z4, and today we dissect human behavior so you can blend in without unfortunate incidents. Transmission continues from Mars Colony Delta on Sol 2903. Today's analysis addresses the bewildering human compulsion to engage in recreational physical exhaustion through exercise. Deliberately expending energy without productive output while claiming this enhances rather than diminishes their operational capacity. Before proceeding, I must address a critical linguistic distinction that prevented a serious infiltration compromise. Exercise and exercise are entirely different activities, despite their similar acoustic properties. Exercise involves voluntary physical exertion, while exercising involves the removal of supernatural entities from possessed individuals. Both activities should be observed from a safe distance for entirely different reasons. Exercise due to the risk of projectile bodily fluids and impact injuries. Exercising due to the unpredictable behavior of humans battling invisible entities. I learned this distinction when I responded to an invitation for morning exercise by inquiring which demons required removal and whether I should bring protective equipment. The resulting confusion nearly compromised my cover identity, though I successfully attributed the misunderstanding to English being my second language. Exercise represents perhaps the most counterintuitive aspect of human resource management. Humans deliberately engage in activities that exhaust their energy reserves, elevate their cardiovascular stress indicators, and often result in temporary physical discomfort, all while claiming these activities improve their overall performance capacity. My first direct observation occurred at the colony's fitness center, a facility dedicated entirely to energy expenditure with no productive output. Humans position themselves on mechanical devices designed to simulate useful activities, walking, climbing, rowing, while remaining stationary and accomplishing nothing. The inefficiency was staggering. Most baffling was observing a mining engineer operating a device called a treadmill, a moving platform that allowed him to expend energy walking without changing location. When I suggested he could achieve identical physical exertion by walking to useful destinations, he explained that it's not the same and that he needed the workout. This implied that productive walking somehow provided inferior physical benefits to non-productive walking. The variety of exercise activities defies logical categorization. Weightlifting, repeatedly moving heavy objects from one position to another, then returning them to their original location. Running, rapid locomotion covering predetermined distances with no transportation objective. Swimming, aquatic movement in artificial containment systems rather than natural bodies of water. Yoga, arranging the body in uncomfortable positions while remaining stationary, an activity that, like exercising, also has spiritual implications, though one is actively inviting spirits into oneself. CrossFit, a combination of the above activities performed with competitive intensity and frequent vocalization. Apparently this may also be a religion, though I am uncertain. Tactical recommendations for field operatives. Develop an appropriate exercise routine consistent with your cover identity. Humans who don't exercise are considered lazy, unhealthy, or suspicious. The phrase, "I need to get back into shape," provides acceptable temporary exemption from participation. I'm America's safety protocol. Maintain minimum 2-meter distance from exercising humans. They emit excessive perspiration, breathe heavily, potential pathogen transmission, and may experience coordination impairment leading to unpredictable movement patterns. Learn appropriate exercise vocabulary for your assigned demographic. Younger humans use terms like gains, reps, and shred. Older humans discuss staying active, keeping fit, and doctor's orders. Never suggest that exercise is inefficient or illogical. When humans defend their exercise habits, supportive responses include good for you, and I should be doing more myself. Critical. If invited to participate in group exercise, accept but claim current physical limitations. Demonstrating superior endurance or strength may compromise cover. Acceptable limitations include recovering from an injury, just getting back into it, or taking it slow. The psychological mechanisms underlying exercise are complex. Humans report that physical exhaustion produces endorphins, neurochemicals that create pleasure sensations despite the apparent negative stimulus. This suggests a fundamental programming error in human physiology, where distress signals are interpreted as reward indicators. Most revealing was observing the social hierarchies formed around exercise performance. During a group fitness class, I documented clear status gradations based on endurance capacity, form precision, and equipment familiarity. Humans who performed better received social approval, while those struggling were encouraged but clearly ranked lower in the temporary social order. The competitive element appears central to exercise motivation. Humans engage in contests to determine who can lift heavier objects, run faster, or endure longer periods of physical stress, despite these competitions having no practical application to their actual responsibilities. A communications specialist spent 23 minutes explaining how her personal best in something called a 5K run represented a significant achievement, though her daily work involves no running requirements. Perhaps most concerning is the exercise subculture humans call gym culture. Regular exercisers develop distinct behavioral patterns, dietary restrictions, and social affiliations based on their exercise preferences. They use specialized terminology, purchase expensive equipment, and organize their daily schedules around energy expenditure sessions. The devotion rivals religious practices in its intensity and social impact. We observed particularly intense social bonding among humans who engage in CrossFit, a form of exercise characterized by extreme physical exertion, tribal group identity, and frequent discussion of workout details. When two CrossFit practitioners met, they immediately began sharing information about their exercise routines, dietary protocols, and physical achievements. Non-participants were effectively excluded from these conversations, despite their technical competence in their assigned work roles. My most concerning field experience occurred during a spin class, group exercise, performed on stationary bicycles while an instructor shouted motivational commands and played loud audio stimulation. The humans appeared to enter an altered consciousness state, exhibiting synchronized movement patterns and responding to verbal cues with minimal individual decision-making. When I maintained normal awareness levels during this activity, the instructor questioned my commitment and suggested I dig deeper and find my edge. The exercise industry represents a significant economic sector despite producing no tangible goods. Humans purchase expensive equipment for activities they could perform without technological assistance, pay for instruction in basic physical movements their bodies naturally understand, and subscribe to facilities that provide space for activities available in any open area. Most paradoxical is that humans often exercise to counteract the effects of their sedentary lifestyle choices, then return to those same sedentary behaviors immediately after exercising. I observed multiple humans engage in intense physical activity for 1 hour, then spend the next 8 hours seated at workstations, then complain about needing more exercise to combat their physical lethargy. Next transmission will examine the peculiar human practice of retail therapy, purchasing unnecessary items as a response to emotional distress, creating both temporary pleasure and long-term resource management problems. As always, this is Agent Z4 signing off. Infiltration begins now. Many thanks to my channel members and Pathfinders. You all make these videos possible. Thank you for listening to this story. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to leave this video a like and subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this. Video shares, memberships, and super thanks help the channel grow as well, so feel free to partner with this channel in that way as we grow. With that all said, thank you again for listening to the story, and thank you for your time. On the left side of your screen are some videos I think you might be interested in. I hope to see you in the next one.